That's so fucked up. But a very classic Nintendo move. Just another huge L from this company.
Deliberately putting my channel in danger, but not taking it down completely. I was able to get an email address for Nintendo and sent a message asking that we discuss what's going on and try to reach an amicable resolution that would make both parties happy. I heard nothing back so far. Here's that email if you would like to read it.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure Nintendo has cobwebs on their email address. I don't think they know how to log in. Maybe they forgot the password. Maybe they just forgot it existed. Point Crow does have a legal team giving him advice here, and I think he's handling it in all of the right ways, but Nintendo is just completely unresponsive to anything from anybody.
Fantastic.
Like, you could actually have fucking Joe Biden send them some kind of presidential message or whatever, and if it doesn't get there by carrier pigeon, they're not getting it regardless. Again, I've said this before, but you would have better luck reaching Nintendo if you wrote your message on a rock and threw it outside of your window right now. They'd stand a better chance of seeing that than anything else, like a fucking email or anything. They truly just don't give a shit.
So the next day, Nintendo claimed 24 more of my videos from my channels. Most of them are modded content. A lot of them are Breath of the Wild. But not all of them are. This is key. They also claimed videos containing footage from Super Mario Odyssey, the Pokemon series, and Wii Sports Resort from my channel. The most surprising one, though, was a claim from one of my first videos back in 2019, marrying Sidon and a bookshelf to create Hyrule's first car. It's just a regular vanilla gameplay video of Breath of the Wild.
The belief I and many others had going into this video, seeing what he posted on Twitter, was that the reason they're striking these videos and taking down this Breath of the Wild content is because their upcoming game, Tears of the Kingdom, is right around the corner, and for some reason now they're going around fucking feeding knuckle sandwiches to anyone who's made Breath of the Wild videos, I guess. And they've always had a real thorn in their side about modding. That's just a rock in their shoe that makes them very upset that people mod their games in order to have more fun with them. They don't recognize that the people modding those games are literally their biggest fans and making a ton of content around it, which only helps spread the game further in a positive way. Point Crow's mods weren't malicious, he wasn't selling them or anything like that, and as you can see from what he just showed, it's not like they were only claiming modded videos. That video from 2019 is just vanilla gameplay. It's not fucking modded out the wazoo or anything. They just very much viewed him as some kind of, like, bad guy and started blasting him as hard as they could. They fucking claimed the vanilla gameplay video of Breath of the Wild. That is so far into degeneracy. It's nuts. And the cat's out of the bag here. It's clearly not Tears of the Kingdom motivated because they also hit other videos from him that were on completely different games.
These takedowns aren't exclusive to my channel either. Over the course of the next couple days, Nintendo is taking down videos from other channels as well. Croton, another very prominent YouTuber, has had at least 10 live streams and 2 videos removed. Importantly, one of those videos is simply a challenge video, detailing how the game would be played if the player decided to explore Zelda, with certain restrictions the player has imposed on themselves. These takedowns may have started with modded content, but they have spiraled into something else entirely.
Yeah, they've spiraled into lunacy here. They're not just targeting modded content, though I don't think there's any real justification for what they've done, even if it was only modded content. Modded content isn't some affront to God for these companies. It is players modding your game and making content around it, and just enjoying it even further. Now, maybe there are some mods that are bad news, but I promise you it's not the ones you're striking down from these YouTubers. It's just further wiping their own ass with their already awful reputation and staining it even further. But again, they don't care. Purchasing a Nintendo game honestly feels fucking horrible, because you're buying something from a company that doesn't respect you and actually just fucking straight up hates you. It's like buying clothes from your high school bully. Like, damn, the clothes are fire, but god damn it, the person behind it hates me and literally spits on me every chance they get. Like, it just sucks. Like, Nintendo makes such bangers, but the company is just actual trash.
So now you know what's happening. At this time, my channel has had 29 videos taken down, 2 copyright strikes, and Nintendo does not seem to be stopping the removal of videos from other creators on YouTube. They've shown that they're striking down regular gameplay videos as well. It's sporadic, and their enforcement of their copyright is incredibly uneven. The thing is, without even considering fair use, all of these videos are very clearly in line with Nintendo's own game content guidelines for online video and image sharing platforms.
Nintendo is going insano style right now, absolutely purging YouTube of all types of different content out of nowhere. Like, all of it's pretty nonsensical. It's not just modded content, it's actual just normal gameplay videos, like playing Breath of the Wild with like a challenge run and shit like that. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they start taking down speed runs or even just general walkthroughs. Like, it's absolute madness. It's chaos. And there's just no way of defending this behavior from Nintendo. Point Crow explains that all of this content fits within their own content policy, as well as, of course, being fair use. They state that they encourage creative input and commentary for content around their video games, as well as like Let's Plays, video game reviews. Which, it doesn't really seem like they are saying that with a smile on their face, considering they're now just taking down all of these videos that have creative input and commentary. The things that they highlight that they don't allow are the obvious things, right? Where it's just like, you know, full Nintendo trailers or all of their soundtrack and shit like that. Things that other companies also don't encourage either.
You might argue that modern content is in violation of these guidelines, but historically that's not the case. The terms of service for The Legend of Zelda says you cannot modify the game, but it also says that you cannot stream it, you cannot make videos of it, and you cannot otherwise broadcast it. Nintendo's game content guidelines changes this by providing a license on top of the existing terms of service, which modifies the terms of service for content creators. All of the videos that they've taken are in compliance with their own policies.
A lot of games in their terms of service actually have similar statements, such as like no making videos or streaming the game or anything like that. But like Point Crow mentions, there's extenuating circumstances. There's like an overarching branch of it where they do modify that for the content creators and content that is made around their products. Because obviously in this day and age, any game is going to be like streamed or have videos about it. So a lot of companies encourage it, and Nintendo claims they also encourage it. They even talk about like how touched they are when people make Nintendo focused videos, which is the biggest fucking lie ever told. Like, my god, what a fucking fib. No shot. Every video made on a Nintendo game makes them angry. I feel like they view that as lost dollars, potentially. Like, oh no, a potential customer may have seen this video and now they're never gonna bother getting the game because they got the whole experience from watching this one guy play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild by killing all of the trash mobs. No, we lost somebody, they've ruined us. Take them down. It's just something that has existed for a long time, right? No streaming the game, no making videos on it, but that's just not the way it's worked historically on the internet for a long time now. And Nintendo has understood that up until recently, where I guess they got hit by a fucking stupid beam and are now taking down videos again. Completely innocent ones.
In fact, what they've demonstrated here is that they will ignore their own policies and licenses to selectively enforce their intellectual property. So, if you've uploaded any video that features any Nintendo content, no matter how transformative or directly in line with their published guidelines, you are at risk. You mentioned in your content guidelines that you are humbled every day by the loyalty and passion for Nintendo's games, characters, and world, and respect that we want to be able to express ourselves creatively by sharing our own videos and images using content from your game. And if you truly respect us and are humbled by this community, don't take this creativity away from us.
Overall, I think it's an extremely strong video from Point Crow here, which once again highlights Nintendo's out-of-touch delusion, and it serves as a great open letter to the company that I have no doubt will go completely radio silent on. I don't think they're going to see it. I don't think they're going to care. They're going to most likely continue to take down completely innocent videos and maybe even whole channels that have covered Nintendo products or made Nintendo-focused content, all because they're just fucking evil. Like, I really don't know what it is anymore. This does nothing to help them. This just puts another blemish on their reputation. This doesn't get people excited for Tears of the Kingdom. This just makes more and more people afraid of Nintendo. And for a company that's supposed to be like all about family fun, I don't know why they want to be feared so badly, ruling their property with an iron fist and allowing no room for creativity or imagination in their worlds from the people that love them the most, like Point Crow mentions. It's just shit. It's just an actual pile of dog shit. and I wanted to talk about that. I'm wishing Point Crow the absolute best here, navigating these 2 strikes on his channel, because Nintendo is a fearsome foe. So I really am hoping for the best for him. He's a great guy, and Nintendo is anything but a great company. They're trash. That's really about it. So yeah.
But no, yeah, it's because like I realized, because driving in Hawaii, yeah, like not trying to learn, but sometimes you're unfamiliar with the road.
Yeah.
I was probably the closest to getting into a crash in Hawaii, out of the
That's
three
because
of
you
us.
weren't following the rules, Gaunt.
I was following the rules. I thought I knew the rules. There was a green light. There was a green light. I thought I could just turn.
I just Googled because I was near certain that, like, obviously the reason why we have all these goddamn rules is for safety.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and generally,
Yeah.
I think in Thailand there's a higher death rate for
Oh, yeah.
car
Of
crashes.
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it's why we have all these boring rules and you can't go when you want because, you know,
Yeah.
more traffic accidents.
I know. Yeah, but like I feel like it definitely feels less. Obviously, it feels easier, but once you get past, you know, the intimidation of everyone's doing their own thing, it's kind of like comforting to drive there. Maybe I'm just like going back to my bloodline, like I said.
I think
but-
you've just been in that situation too many times now where it's just numbed you. Because it's like, it was definitely not the case with me.
Yeah, I didn't.
I would
when
be fucking shitting myself if I had to drive, especially if I was on a moped in Thailand. Oh my god!
Yeah, we'll do a trip around Vietnam or Thailand or something. Get you a few days on a road.
If I can survive that trip, I can drive it.
Yeah, you know, like I feel like okay, so you know, like the stereotype, you know, stereotype we had before that Asians are bad drivers.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there was some truth to that, and I feel like some of that truth was they weren't bad drivers. They just went by the rules of their home country,
Yeah.
which in Western countries counts very much as a bad driver.
It's not that Asian. It's gentrified Asia.
They were just bringing like the Asian culture to America, and Americans are like, what's going on here?
They're bringing MMA rules to a box.
Yeah.
It's not that British people have bad food. It's that they just brought it from other countries.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still like this. Like, the level beyond me is I still don't know how, you know, some people in Vietnam or Southeast Asia, how they get away with some of the shit they tow or like get on their scooters,
Carrying their entire family in the
I
back
saw
of the
Well,
that
that's
moped.
just dangerous. Like
Yeah.
having like 4 people on a scooter is
Yeah.
just that's
I
just
saw
like
I saw someone towing a fucking tree in Vietnam via scooter.
Wait, on a moped?
On a moped. They had this like tiny little trailer that was obviously way too small for this fucking tree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there is no way that is stable right now. We're about to get a
that
tree
poor
on the
fucking engine.
Yeah,
It's probably dying.
I know,
How to ruin your fucking moped engine
Well,
in
what
10
poor
seconds.
scooter, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
It does
Yeah.
feel like a lot of common sense goes out the window sometimes. Just to like, you're like, I can.
Yeah.
And they never stop to think, should I?
It's like, I only have this moped, but damn, I need this tree though.
What the fuck are they towing a fucking tree? Is the tree just being dragged around on the floor?
No, he
That's in a
had,
trailer.
he had like a tiny ass fucking trailer, which was
okay. In my head, I envisioned
Yeah.
some dude
It's just dragging on the
with
road.
chains just attached to a moped and a tree, and it's sliding on the ground.
I mean, it wasn't that much better, honestly.
Oh
the
my
trailer
God.
the trailer looked like it was like doing nothing.
Every time they
man.
take a turn, they just sweep out like
Yeah.
20 scooters.
Yeah, no way. How the fuck did they hook up a trailer to a moped? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Using every CC it's got.
Oh my
Just
god.
Vietnam things, man.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, like, that's why I thought driving. I've been in more close crashes in England,
You're a bad
and
driver.
I think I'm
Gentrified Asian?
He's gone
Hello?
a bad Asian driver, no coincidence.
No subtext.
Your Honor, my first piece of evidence. He's Asian.
All I'm saying is,
I'm gonna help
all
with
I'm
the
saying is, somehow I've never come close to a crash in all my years of driving in Thailand.
Okay.
He's a lucky Asian.
Yeah. I'm a lucky Asian.
He put all of his skill points into luck, dude.
You got rear-ended by a white couple in the UK, right?
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Yeah, and,
that wasn't my fault. It's of course. Look, that's what the insurance company made. Said. And literally the guy who rear-ended me just said, I just took my eyes off the road for like 5 seconds and ended up
Shame.
crashing.
That's how it always happens. No one crashes when their eyes are on the road.
Yeah, officer, I just wasn't looking at the road. I'm sorry.
All right, boys, you heard it. Let him off.
I was going.
If he crashed, you didn't see it. Did he really crash? Oh my god!
Have you guys ever been in any crashes or road accidents or anything?
Someone bumped our car once when we were parking. I remember that was really weird. I was just kind of like, "The fuck was that?"
When was this?
We were sitting in the back of the car when we were like 10,
Right.
and we had parked and some car just bumped into us, and it wasn't like a big bump, but if you've ever had a car been knocked, even like a little knock really fucking like shakes the car in a way that you're like, whoa, what the fuck? So that was weird. That was about it.
I haven't been in one, but I have seen one like happen right in front of me, and it was
shit. There was the place I lived in London. Do you remember this? There's like a junction. There's always car crashes happening there.
Oh, okay.
There's like really high-speed car crashes. It happened quite a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a few times where they crashed and went into like people's gardens and stuff.
Yeah. I had one too where like the road where I grew up in as well, it's like a cul-de-sac, but then it comes out onto like a T intersection of the main road. And before they have a roundabout there now too, because there were so many accidents that were happening there. But I remember when I was in like middle school, I was like walking to the main road to like go to the bus stop, and there was just this like cyclist just coming up the hill really, really slowly, and then just in front of me, I was looking at the cyclist, and then there was just a head-on. And this cyclist probably went flying about like 20 meters, 30
Holy
meters.
shit, was he okay?
I was like, oh my god, he's dead. Like he's straight up dead. Of course, tough Australian that he was, just got up and he was like, I'm good. Just picked up his bike and just started cycling again. And I'm like,
His bike was good to cycle.
his bike was still good.
The fuck?
And the driver was like, are you sure? You okay? Like,
Oh, no, I would have called Saul Goodman, bro. I would have been
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, the only person who has the balls to get into a head-on collision, fly 30 meters, get up like nothing happened, and then continue cycling is someone that's happened to him multiple times. Like there's because I think like in Australia, at least in Sydney, like cyclists get into so many accidents because it's like they have to drive on the road, but they don't have like a bicycle like they do in Japan, like other Southeast Asian countries. So they're just like in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah.
And some drivers are like, what the fuck? I'm gonna try and get around that. And then they either go into the opposite traffic, or they just fucking bump the cyclist off the road.
There should be enough room for both, a little bit. Oh,
You'd think so, but
Jesus,
cyclists
scary.
think they own the fucking road. Am I right, Connor?
One quick story, and then I'll get into cycling.
Okay.
So this is just like this weird experience I had as a kid. So it's not about car crashes, but it's about cars. So
Yeah.
it's close enough. I was with my mum in a supermarket, and I was like 10 years old. And my mum was at the checkout, and I was like, can I just go and wait in the car? I don't know why. I was like, I want to go and play Game Boy or something in the car.
Yeah.
And so I asked my mom, can I have the car keys? And so I take the car keys, and I go to the parking lot, and I find the car. And so I go to the car, and I put the keys in and turn it. It opens, and I go in. I'm sitting in there, and I'm playing Game Boy. And like 10 minutes later, I look around the car, and I'm like, I don't think these seats look the same as the one in my car. And I look at the front, and I'm like, that's not the front of my mum's car either. And then I'm looking at the seat again. I'm like, no, this isn't the car pattern at all. I get out, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the same car, but it's not our car, and the key worked on it. And apparently, when I looked it up, and it's like the chances of this happening are super low.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because the key should only work on like 8 other cars in existence of that model. Like, it shouldn't work. I just thought it was really weird that it happened at one time. I was freaked out as a kid, and I told my mum. My mum didn't believe me. And I was like, I'm telling you, I went over this other car, and I sat in there for 10 minutes. I played my Game Boy.
It would have been real awkward if like the owner of the car came by.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe I should make up that someone came and beat me out. But no, it was it was really weird. I remember that experience.
I actually
Very
did something.
surreal experience.
I did something almost similar in Hawaii. So you remember when we went to Best Buy?
Yeah.
And I was like, can someone give me the keys to the truck?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, a bit of space cadet. I was just like, let me just go in the truck, get my wallet so I can buy what I need to buy at Best Buy. So I go to the truck and I try like opening the doors. It's not opening. It just doesn't open at all. I'm like, what's going on? Is the batteries dead or something? And I tried like several times, and then I was like, okay, let me try actually just putting the keys in. I'm at this truck for about 2 minutes trying to fucking squeeze this key in this Jeep that we've rented out for a day.
Literally like 2 minutes ago, we parked it as well.
Yeah. And then after about 2 minutes of fiddling around, guy walks up to me and goes, "What are you doing? That's my truck." That's my Jeep. And I look up and I'm like, I found myself at the wrong Jeep. I was trying to get, I felt so bad because I was trying to get in this Jeep for like a full-on 3-4 minutes. Yeah. And the owner was just like right on the other side, apparently just fucking watching me try to break into his truck.
Oh my God, you're lucky you didn't like fucking call the police.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You know what makes the story even funnier? Our Jeep was parked, I shit you not, 2 feet from the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were literally the first car you would see as you come out. And somehow God did not remember this. He was in Best Buy for a total of 2 minutes.
And there were only like 3 other cars in this
There was
parking
no
lot.
one else in the parking lot. How the fuck did you fuck that up?
I don't know. There was one.
God.
I looked up. I saw one big ass car in front of me, and I looked down. And I was like, I just assumed in my head, oh, that must be mine. How many big ass cars could there possibly be?
Was it the exact same model?
It wasn't the exact same model, but it was the same. It was the same color. It was the same color, and it was also a Jeep.
Oh my God.
So it was close enough. It was close
It's
enough.
funny
in
to
my
think
mind.
that while we were all standing around the
Yeah,
Jeep,
we were
we
literally-
were like, where the fuck's
Yeah,
gone? He's got the keys. He's trying to jack someone else's
We
car.
were at our Jeep waiting for God to come back. We were literally in this Best Buy for 5 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, we wondered, where did you go?
Yeah.
And you were just like, yeah, nowhere. We're like, oh, okay. Okay, all right, sure. You shouldn't have the energy to explain it.
Yeah.
I
enough.
was fucking knackered, but
Yeah. Cycling.
Cycling,
fun.
eh?
I had a cyclathon.
Hell
Went
yeah.
well.
how was that?
Yeah, it was fun. So we cyclists do own the road, Joey. Actually, people get so annoyed about that a lot of the time because
Yeah.
some people would. So if you didn't know, which I'm sure most of you already know, cycled for 9 days, did a whole lap of Kyushu. To raise money for charity and streamed it, and Chris is making the video as well, which probably won't be out. Definitely won't be out by the time this airs. But look out for that, and there'll be a video on my channel as well about it. You did miss it, but yeah, we streamed all day, every day, raising money for the IDF.
Congratulations, man!
And we
You
raised
guys-
$555,000 for charity, which
Hell
is
yeah.
200 and something thousand more dollars than we raised last time.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy seeing how everyone was just really into it this time. Like, it was like last time we kind of dropped it like a week before,
Yeah,
and people were like, "What? Like, what are you cycling across? What? This is a weird stream." But yeah, people were super ready for it this time.
yeah.
We added a bit more tech to it. I had a Fitbit the whole time that showed you my heart rate and my calories burned. So
Oh
I
shit!
thought it was just trying to gamify it. There was so much
Yeah.
stuff on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
it looked like a fucking Breath of the Wild hunt.
It was literally like you're watching a man cycling video. game.
Yeah.
Like, it was like,
It's like biking simulator.
yeah.
I wanted to bring the gaming aspect of it
Yeah.
that Twitch is known for.
Of course.
And yeah, it went super well. It was hard. Fucking hell, it was so much harder.
How was
Yeah,
it
I
compared to the first cyclathon?
Yeah, I thought we had tough hills in Hokkaido, and I was wrong. We had way tougher hills.
Oh yeah, because Kyushu's mad hilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. Most days were, I think in Hokkaido, we had one day that was 600-meter incline total. And that was the hardest day.
Right.
And then on average, I think we had around, and that was just one day. Most days, I think, ended up being around 200, 300 meters of incline. That means, like, over the course of the day, you would have gone up a total
Vertically,
of 300 meters vertically.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
probably down 300 meters vertically. In Kyushu, it was on average about 500 to 600.
Damn.
And that's like, that's a big difference. That doesn't sound crazy because we were cycling on average anywhere between 90 to 100 kilometers a day. And that doesn't sound like a lot of incline compared to the distance we're doing.
You're basically climbing a small mountain every day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, for perspective, the Eiffel Tower is 300 meters. So we would sometimes be doing
I mean,
double.
you're basically almost climbing like Tokyo Skytree every day.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
Burj Khalifa is 800 meters
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like, you know,
Tokyo Skytree is 643 meters.
we one day was 900 meters.
Oh damn.
So one day we did the Burj Khalifa and a little bit of the Eiffel Tower on top.
Yeah.
So just to like for the perspective of like how high we would have to go up and then go down with the distance.
Right.
And so like the thing is that if the incline is kind of like, you know, we have like an incline that's like that. It's like, okay, well, if that's an incline over 10 kilometers, it's like you can do it. Like it's a little bit tough, but you can do it. But the problem is that when you get to inclines, they're all like this.
Oh yeah.
And you can't cycle up that.
Yeah.
Like maybe if I was in the Tour de France, and like people would, dude, I got so many annoying messages that I snapped and got so angry at. They were like, just use lower gear. And I'm like, no shit, just lose the lower gear. You think I'd cycled 9 days and I hadn't figured out how to fucking use my gears?
They say while they sit in their gaming chairs.
I went off so many times. Like, fuck you, tell me to use the lower gear. I'm in the lowest gear my bike has and I can't get up this shit.
Eating their Cheetos.
Yeah.
And that's when it was like, because we had a pretty like, the objective was every day is that for like generally for safety, we need to be done by sundown, just so that we're not on the road
At
when
night,
it's night.
yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
we have lights and stuff, but it's just like you can't see potholes well, you can't see stuff well. I think I said it the last time we talked about it. So every day we had to be done. So it was like some days when we would have the hill right at the start, and we would have done like 1/5 of the distance over half the day.
Right.
Because we would have to stop and walk for an hour just to get over one hill, which is like 1.5 kilometers.
Right.
Because there was one hill that was, I think it was a 500-meter hill continuously, and we had to walk up all of it over 2 kilometers because it was just too steep. And then the downhill was amazing, but it's like it wastes so much time. So on top of that, you're also knackered all day, just tired, and then you gotta do the shit. And then the weather was so bad; we had such bad weather. I thought Kyushu in March was pretty decent weather. It was like kind of. It's April, May, and June is where it starts to rain a lot.
Yeah.
Mainly May, June
May, June, yeah.
is where it gets crazy. And I thought, okay, if we go March, we can miss it because it won't be too cold, it won't be too hot, and hopefully shouldn't be too much rain. Day 1, I think we had rain, and then I think day 2 we didn't have any rain, and then I think day 3 we didn't have rain, but day 4 we had like, oh, it was awful.
Torrential.
It was so bad. It was like Noah's Ark level rain, and it didn't stop the entire day.
Oh my god.
And like, obviously, I'm not gonna like. I was complaining a lot on stream. Obviously, I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck this shit. Fuck this. This fucking sucks. This is
Yeah.
lame. This is shit." Because you're like, you're cycling, and then the moment we left, like, I mean, let me actually show you a little clip. Just give you some context.
It's raining so hard all day.
This doesn't look fun at all. This looks miserable. Yeah, we might be the first cyclists to ever drown today. It's fine, kind of getting wet because it's like whatever. But
Yeah.
you don't realize how fucking hard it is on your body when you're wet for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Like you're actually just drenched for 9 hours, and even
Vessies
in our
didn't
breaks. Vessies, I did not use Vessies. These cycling shoes, but like the shoes get waterlogged right away.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like the whole day, even when you get off the bike and let's say we're at lunch, like we're walking around and we can't change because like we're just doing it. Even if we did change, it doesn't matter.
It's gonna get wet again.
You're gonna get wet again anyway. And it wasn't a warm day. It was like 16 degrees. So you're just freezing the whole day. And the only time you feel kind of good is when you're cycling. Because you kind of get a little bit warm. But it's like the mental fatigue that takes on you is like insane. And then on top of that, on the 4th day, I fell over. Like pretty
Yeah.
badly. We were going pretty fast. Because I just wanted to get going. And then I went onto the pavement of the sidewalk. in
Yeah, I
America.
saw the clip.
Yeah, and they had like they have this stuff for blind people. They're like these yellow lines, and they get really slippery.
Yeah.
In the such a fuck you to blind people in the rain. They get really slippery, especially with tires. I went over it, bike just fucking went under it.
It's not much, but it's honest work. You're the
Ow!
Thank you so much.
Fuck!
Keep up the amazing and inspiring.
Oh, fuck! And so I just fell on my leg. It was like bleeding and stuff, and I was like, fuck. And we had only done like 1/3 of the day. And
Yeah.
I was like, God, I don't want to do this, man. This fucking sucks. And I fell over again
Yeah.
later on.
Oh, there's somebody else cycling. What are they doing? Why are they cycling? Again? God damn it, again. Ah, measurement. Measurement.
I stopped at a light and my bike got stuck in like where the pavement kind of joins the road.
Yeah.
Right.
It was kind of like a little bit ditch, and normally your bike would be fine taking it, but when
Yeah.
the rain, it just doesn't have any grip, and it just fell over, and I just went face forward over the
shit.
bike, and then I really hurt my wrist. But I didn't want to complain about it on stream. I don't want people to worry that I was
Yeah.
like doing it unsafely or anything. I mean, I was fine. I was doing it, but it was just tough. But that day we raised a lot of money.
Yeah, I
Because
I
people
saw
felt
like
sorry for me.
I saw like a graph of like the money
Oh
raised.
yeah, there was a money raised, and the
Yeah.
fourth day was like an anomaly.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was just because it was the most depressing shit. It was so depressing, and I was like, I was just on the verge of tears because it was just such a mentally draining day to just have to do that. And then like,
How did Chris take it?
I think Chris just powered through. He was listening
Oh.
to Stalin audiobooks. He was.
The dichotomy.
I think Chris was like, I was obviously miserable as well for Chris, but I
Yeah.
think Chris was just like, the one thing about that I think is kind of nice for Chris is that if he wants to not be on the stream and
Yeah.
he wants to just cycle and just listen to the audiobook or listen to the music, he
Yeah.
can just do that, which,
Yeah.
is, which
Zone
I think
out.
is nice. Whereas
Yeah.
I always have to think about like, all right, the stream, as well as obviously cycling. And that was another tough thing that comes with the rain, which is like it's like they're both equally as frustrating, is that the tech that we're using does not want to get wet at all. And so like we have to use like weird ass water coverings, and that's a problem because that overheats everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So halfway through the day, like I couldn't check my phone or anything. So I was streaming without seeing the chat or any of the donations. So I for like the last 2 hours, I couldn't see anything. I didn't know if we had signal. I didn't know if the stream was working. My bag was getting soaked, which is worrying because then even though I had a water cover for it,
The electronics.
it was like, it wasn't doing anything because the rain was so bad and we were in it for so long that
Yeah.
it was like, it didn't matter. The water was getting through somehow. And so you're like, oh my God, I can't see chat. This equipment might be broken. I don't even know if it's working. It might not even survive to the next day. And then I can't see the phone. I can't see anything. And I'm just kind of talking to the camera. And half the time I wasn't even talking because I was just so like miserable and sad that I couldn't see anything. And I had to go up a fucking hill in the rain. It was so shit. I hated it all. And that was like a day where I just like, the next day I was like, I can't believe I have to get back on the bike.
Yeah.
That was like horrible. And like my leg was swollen because I'd fallen on it pretty badly.
Yeah.
And it was still kind of bleeding and stuff, but I mean, it was like kind of stinging, but it was like fine to cycle on. And luckily the next day, thank God, it was sunny. And it was like, felt like oh my God, there is a God. I'm about
God smiled down
I'm about
on
to be
you.
religious because this feel like if there was another rainy day after that, I think I would have lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the kind of cycle, we didn't really have any terrible weather. It's kind of like we'd get a little bit of rain for an hour, it would stop.
Yeah.
And we'd get a little bit of rain, the clouds would come in. We never really had sunny days. We had like one day where it was sunny, which kind of sucked because Hokkaido was pretty much all clear skies until
Yeah,
like 1
yeah.
or 2 days. It sucked. But I mean, obviously you shouldn't cycle in that weather normally.
Yep.
Obviously, if we were smart, we would have planned it so we could just be like, nope, not cycling today.
Yeah.
But
We'll
also,
take a break day.
but also, I feel like the kind of the morale of it is like, and the whole like reason that I think the viewers, well, in my mind, it's like this my weird stream of mine, like it's like you do it through the good and the bad times, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
That's
exactly.
what makes it like.
Well,
It's the adventure, right?
yeah.
Well, that's why on that day people donated like
I
the
think
most
so,
money aside
right?
from like the last day, you know. And yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah, and that was a miserable day as well because Chris insisted we go to McDonald's, and I was still wet and cold, and I was like, "Can we take it to go?" And Chris was like, "No, let's eat inside." And I was like, oh, "Fine." So I'm in this McDonald's, I'm soaking wet, and I'm eating cheeseburgers, and my leg is bleeding. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just want to go back to the fucking, let's just get out of here. I don't want to be in this. We had a 40-minute drive to the Airbnb. It was the one of course, the day where I wanted to get back quickest.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the one day where the drive was super far away.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were in the middle of nowhere in Kyushu. It was like, we were like in a place called Izumi, which is like a town. It has like one hotel, and it was fully booked. So we had to drive 30 minutes into some like villa. And it was very nice, but it was like, just like, you were like, come on. By the time I finally managed to get a bath, it was like 9 p.m.
jeez.
and I was soaked the whole day, and I was like shaking and freezing. It was miserable. But yeah, I was really glad I did it. Holy fuck, was it hard? It was hard. It was hard. Very
You can do another one?
I don't know. We'll see. Like I think I would like to do another one, but I want to think about how I can maybe mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Unicycle. Tricycle.
oh my god. I do have
Scooter.
I do
Scooter.
have no.
If you're having a scooter, call me in. I'm happy to join the battle.
I have a pretty solid idea if I was to do it again, how I want to improve it, and how I want to mix it up. Yeah, I think if I did do another one, I have an idea. But it was good, and I think people really enjoyed it. The viewership was generally higher for this one.
And I mean, I think it kind of lined up really well because you were able to like promote it on the Streamer Awards.
Yeah, I was about
which-
to say, yeah.
Congratulations on winning the best philanthropic
I learned that word for the event as well. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were surprised. Me too. I think everyone expected Jack to win. I think Jack was being. Well, to say Jack, Sean.
Yeah.
It's so annoying that he has two names.
Yeah.
Sean, God damn it, man. Why is Jack such an easy name to say as well? Jack. No, Sean's great. Sean's awesome, and I think if Sean promoted it more,
I think so.
I think Sean was like, you know. I think Connor's a nice guy. I don't know if this one. I don't know. But I also wouldn't have been mad if. I think I wouldn't have been upset 'cause I was in Thanksmas as well,
Yeah.
which was the other event I was up against. I think because a lot of people were expecting. There were other people nominated as well, but I think everyone was expecting. Like, it was just such.
I mean, just the pure fact that you were even nominated is like
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I was.
You were nominated for 2 categories.
I was shocked that I was nominated in Variety Streamer, which I didn't expect to win either because it was X2C was in the same category.
Yeah.
That's just a different ballpark of shit, and his audience watches the Streamer Awards and knows it.
Yeah.
So I think I was honored to win anything. I thought it was hype.
How was the event itself?
It was fun. The Streamer Awards was really fun. There was so much drama that happened afterwards as well.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Saw it all on Twitter.
Yeah.
the
I
next day.
saw the fucking kid that's everywhere came up to me. You know the kid who's
The
in
Bill Clinton
Clinton
the
kid?
Bill
kid.
Clinton kid.
Wait, he was there?
Yeah, he crashed it. No, but he didn't get in. He was outside.
Yeah.
So after the event ended, we went outside, and I was waiting for my Uber to go to the after party because there's always an after party. Everything. We were waiting there, and the Bill Clinton kid comes up to me, but he's dressed as Boba Fett, right? If you don't know who the Bill Clinton kid is, he's this guy who just like video bombs stars and events. He's a very weird kid.
Yeah, the first time I'd heard about him was at the Game Awards.
Yeah, he
where
came up with the fucking Elden Ring Japanese team.
Yeah.
And then he starts going on about Bill Clinton, Orthodox Reformed rabbi or something. It was such a random, it was very bizarre. It was a very weird.
I don't know why he's turning up to all these award
And
ceremonies.
now he's kind of he's a meme because he's everywhere. He's
Yeah.
in
It's
everything.
like
Yeah.
spawning the Yeti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so he came up and he was in this Boba Fett costume and his face, he was all covered up. And he started talking, and I immediately could suss out who it was from the voice.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, you're the Bill Clinton kid." He shoved his camera in my face and was like, "Where's Hassan? Where's Hassan?"
Right.
And I was like, "What?" He's like literally here with the flash on, and I was like,
Paparazzi,
"Yeah."
man.
And I just was like, "Get closer." Put my face in his phone. So I was just like, I was like, "What the fuck does this kid want?" And I was like, "Yeah, he'll come out. He'll come out." And then he finally, I think he got bored because I wasn't like pissed off.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, put the phone in my face." That's fine. And then he left and then kept harassing everyone else.
Bro,
I don't get
like,
it, man.
streamers have got paparazzi now?
No, not paparazzi. Just him.
Just him.
Just him. There's no paparazzi.
He is the paparazzi of Twitch.
It's fun though.
streamers.
I mean, it was a good I got to meet a lot of other streamers. I didn't know. I was surprised a lot of them knew of me. I was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's a
like the
small community,
the
right?
streamer community is pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I don't really.
Once you're in, you're in. I
But
Yeah.
like I don't really collab with a lot of the LA crowd. I
Yeah,
just
but-
kind of do
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah, but a lot of them like know of you, right?
guess so,
And
yeah,
It's
I
like,
guess
you
so.
know,
It's-
it definitely helps your like homies with Ludwig. And
Yeah, I mean,
big
it's
streamers.
like, you know, the YouTube scene back in 2012 or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of the top YouTubers knew of all of the other top YouTubers now. And now, like, there could be a guy with 10 million subscribers that I literally have never heard of in my life. You know? Have you ever, like, gone to a fresh YouTube account and just, like, seen the recommendations? it's so weird
Yeah.
to see so many videos with like 100 million views,
Yeah.
200 million views, and some different YouTubers with like tens of millions
Yeah,
of
it's just 'cause
subscribers.
it's like a global platform.
Yeah, and you just like
yeah.
never heard of them ever, you know?
I think it's just, it's just because it's different hours and amount of content that is consumed and by how much, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why. But no, it was a good event overall, and I enjoyed it. There was, they brought out like macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets for the dinner.
That's a streamer diet right
Of
there.
course that is.
Yeah.
That's a gamer diet if I've ever heard one in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my
And,
God.
yeah, it was kind of over pretty quickly, but it was very fun, and I went pretty much just for that, and then the after party was fun, and then it got ended really early because another content creator got too drunk, and
Yeah.
all the police ambulances and stuff. I don't know what happened. All I know is that I was chilling, and I tried to stop the person from going in the pool,
Yep.
and then I was like, all right, go off. No, I think I left, actually. And then next thing I knew, the security was like, get out. No one's allowed in. I was eating the burgers. There's free burgers.
How long did the party go on?
3 hours.
Okay.
It was like from, I want to say, like 9, 10. No, not even that. Before midnight, and then just ended.
Right.
Yeah, and then it kind of all just fizzled out. Yeah, it was weird.
Damn.
It was a very bizarre night.
It was weird hearing things through the grapevine, you know?
Yeah, because we ended up in like this weird, like everyone was like, okay, everyone go here now, because like when the main party, like if you ever had this experience where you've gone to a party,
Yeah.
this is like a very like when there's too many people and there's a venue,
Yeah.
like, and then the venue say like they shut at 10 or they shut at 11. Everyone's like, where do we go next? And then everyone kind of scatters and tries to like hear, where are you going? Where are you going? So we ended up going to this like club, and we just couldn't get in because it was full, and we were just standing outside for like 10 minutes, like, what the fuck are we doing? I was like, this sucks. Let's just go. Let's just leave. And then someone was like, no, wait, there's this other place. And apparently there was this. Okay, this is gonna blow your mind. I've never heard of this. There was this house that was a credit card. And the amount of credit you were allowed to have was based on how much social media following you had.
What?
That is the most LA thing I've heard in my life.
Yeah, it was called, I think it's called Carrot with a K.
As
Carrot credit card.
As if people aren't clout chasers enough, man. Now
Carats or
there's like a
something.
monetary value that you can get with
Oh
a
my
credit
God.
card.
It's like, don't worry, boys. I'm paying with cloud
Yeah.
right now.
This is
Yeah, you're literally paying with clout.
It's like cash or credit? Cloud, actually.
Clout.
a new credit card for TikTokers, YouTubers, Instagrammers who can't get one from the bank. So
Get one on the bank.
what I think it is like they just give probably like outrageous what's the word, APIs? Is that what it is? No, what's APRs? APRs.
Yes.
Credit APRs. They probably just give. I think they just give outrageous credit. Like if you miss it, you get absolutely fucked by them.
Yeah.
And they hand them out. And it was like a house. It was like their house. And I don't know, like how this all came about, because like it was just a house, like a mansion, and it had branding of this thing everywhere, and we all just showed up, and there was White Claws, and I don't think they knew. I don't think that was the plan. It was really weird, and I showed up, and it was just bizarre.
Wait, so hold on. I'm confused as to how this like credit system works. So it's like
We got back to the credit thing. Back to the
I'm more
credit
interested
thing.
in that. So it's like
Yeah.
you say. So it's based on how many social
Followers.
media followers you have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it's like, is there like a conversion rate of like
Yeah, 'cause
one
like-
follower is 1 cent or like
But
what?
like, is there like a TikTok currency versus a YouTube currency versus? Because like TikTok
Okay,
followers
let me give you an
Is it
example.
like-
is not the same as YouTube subscribers.
Is
You
there
know?
like an
Okay.
exchange
Let
rate
me-
based on like which platform it is?
I have
Like,
an article here. And,
Yeah.
this is from someone called Way. This is like their experience with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
While Way wasn't able to share the specific criteria for approval, he says that there are general follower accounts that Carrot looks at for applicants. YouTubers should generally have at least 100,000 followers. Instagrammers should have at least 125 followers. And TikTokers should have a whopping 2.5 million followers.
Okay.
Way estimates that the average cardholder has an annual income of more than 500,000.
So TikTok is like the bit. It's like the digit is larger, but it's
No,
worth less.
It's like the Venezuelan dollar. And I think, yeah,
With the
again,
Zimbabwe
so I think
dollar.
they
Yeah.
just analyze how much money, like, I think YouTube, they just look at your ad rev, and they're just like, okay, you can have this much.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I think It's a really stupid idea.
Yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
it.
So, and probably something Silicon Valley dreamed up and is absolutely a fucking stupid idea. But they had a house, and I think everyone went there afterwards, and it was much smaller. And so a bunch of people were there. And like, I drank a White Claw, and I was like, dude, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I want to go sleep.
Wait, you didn't sign up for the card?
No one had to.
Oh,
It was literally just you turn up, and it was just that brand's house.
Oh.
Why they had a house, I don't know.
Oh, wait, so it's not like a physical card.
No, it is a physical card.
Oh, right.
But like this house,
This house that
this
they-
house is just like the house for influencers or parties or
okay,
something.
I get
Yeah.
it.
So we turned up, and it was just this thing, and it was the most shittest thing ever. It was just a mansion for this thing. It just felt like what a waste of money for this
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know about it, and we're talking about it, so maybe they got their money's worth from that one party. But what a fucking stupid idea for a business. Yeah.
Can we get like a mortgage out with that? Like, can I apply for
Can I
like
have
a mortgage?
Can I have a clout mortgage?
Yeah. Like, instead of sending over
Yeah,
your
but
bank statements.
the interest rate's pretty insane.
yeah.
They're like, ooh,
Like,
you
you're gonna get at
actually,
least 2,000
Yo,
followers a
actually,
month.
You
I need your
actually-
analytics right now. Can you send over your analytics?
actually,
Get this mortgage
your PR
through?
is not great, and you could fall off at any moment. So, gonna not give
I need you to
Yeah.
increase your CPM by at least $1 by the next month.
Have you ever been cancelled?
Yeah.
Please. you know,
You can't apply for
like
it?
the customs declaration form
Yeah.
where you like declare like, are you bringing in firearms, narcotics? It's just like in 10 years, there's just gonna be. Have you ever been cancelled
Cancelled,
before?
yeah. I'm sorry,
many-
we're gonna have to deny your visa. I'm sorry.
How many cancellation attempts has been made in the past year? Please write down a number. use the lower bracket to explain in more detail. It's like, where are we going right
Yeah.
now, man?
Oh my god.
Holy shit! But yeah, it was so weird.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so weird because obviously only you went, and just obviously like the drama happened, and like seeing you mentioned like, because I can't imagine what it is like to be at the center of streamer drama, because it's kind of like high
I
school.
mean, I wasn't really involved. I just happened to stop the person from jumping in the pool one
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Yeah, and just like hearing your name as part of this, gossip that was like being
is our
thrown,
boy doing?
being thrown around.
It's
I'm
like saying your friend's name in TMZ. It's like,
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
That's kind of what it felt like. I was just like, what's going on? And
What did he do?
And it was just like, someone just gave him like Chinese whispers, where it was like some people were just like, oh, Connor.
Yeah, people were like assuming it was a different Connor, and then people were like saying different things to what actually happened. And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, hold on, that's not what happened. yeah. They were like they're trying to throw Connor in the pool. I was like, no. I was trying to stop them from jumping in the pool,
Yeah.
which is different to them trying to throw me in the pool. Well,
Yeah.
I think so at least.
Yeah, so you've been to America?
Yeah, it was literally
twice?
like I went to America. I had 1 day back,
Yeah.
and I went cycling for 9 days. And I had 1 day back, and then I went to Hawaii. And now I've got a few days back, and then I'm taking my parents around a little bit of Japan. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm paying rent. I'm kind of just scamming myself.
Yeah, you
And,
really
and
are.
last year we spent a total of like how long in Japan? Because we spent a lot of it in America and traveling around.
like half a year. at
Yeah, half a
most.
year.
Well, I'm gonna try and at least have like 1 or 2 months this year where I just don't leave Japan.
You say that.
Well, I already, I mean, or at least make it so the visits out of Japan are short.
Yeah.
Except for probably when we go to America again for AX and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we're going to. Joey's not going to join us this time though.
I'm going to
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
You're going to Vietnam. Low key, actually, really fucking jealous. Actually, really jealous that
I'm
you
going
get
to
to go.
send you all the moped pics.
Gonna be like, damn that Joey.
God damn it.
Here I am in America again for the 50th time, and Joey is back enjoying Vietnam.
in America,
I'm back in
home of the free.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll ride around in a Vespa in America. Who knows? And just get run off the road.
Yeah.
Are you
right.
scared to go back in America after being grilled at TSA again?
Oh yeah, fucking hell! Like
You got fucking diddled.
I had like my guard down this time we went to Hawaii. I don't know why, just because we've been to America so many times that I'd forgotten how intense it could get.
Yeah, you were in like hardest difficulty of papers, please. Like, you were just like, you were struggling.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
all the correct paperwork, and they still grilled him.
Yeah, I had all the correct paperwork, and I was like, it's Hawaii. People are chill here. It's an island. It's a tropical country. I know how things work. People are very chill. My border control officer was not chill.
Well, okay, to paint the scene, right? I'm at the front of our 3-man line.
Yes.
And there's 3 desks.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is 2 men who look quite intimidating, and they just don't look happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's this woman who seems very pleasant and is talking very friendly to all the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm in my head, I'm like, man, I sure as hell I hope I get the very pleasant woman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I go to the pleasant woman. 2 seconds. She's like, what are you here for? Business. What are you doing? Podcast. Cool. I was like, sick. So I
Yes.
go downstairs because you're not allowed to wait. And I'm just sitting there like, it's been like 30 minutes. Where the fuck are these boys?
Yes.
There's no way they're grilling them for 30 minutes because the line wouldn't fucking move.
Well, I mean,
Where are they?
I always get grilled when I go to the States because of my
Yeah.
Esther thing.
Yeah,
But-
so I rock up. I see Connor having an easy time. I'm like, yeah, it's chill. It's Hawaii. And I give my passport. He asks, so what are you here for? I say business. And he goes, what are you doing? Podcast. Exactly the same answer as Connor said. But he went further. He was like, what kind of podcast? What do you do? And I was just like, I mean, have a podcast where we kind of talk
Now,
about...
see, this is where you fucked up. You're already saying too much. One-word answers. You got to say one-word answers.
Yeah.
Just say anime.
Anime?
You fucking lie.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just like...
Okay, don't lie.
Yeah,
but-
don't lie. Don't lie.
But like, simplify. Don't talk to them.
Yeah, because the guy asked me as well, and I just said Japan culture stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. 3 words.
The
Short and
more
sweet.
you talk, the more they'll talk to you.
Yeah,
This,
right.
this is a trick with TSA chat, right? I'm telling you. This is, well, cause I figured this out. If you start like, yeah, I mean, I guess I talk about anime and stuff, and he's like, well, actually, I want to trash taste. You don't talk about anime at all.
That's actually what it felt like. I felt like I was in like a Phoenix Wright where he was just like, there's a lie here somewhere.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a contradiction. And
Yes, just be calm.
Yeah.
So short, simple answers. They'll be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's so
Again,
fun.
like okay. Just to preface, this is obviously ensuring you have all the documentation.
Yes.
Because they're still going to grill you because
Yeah.
it's part of their job.
Which we did,
But,
of
but
course.
you can just make this easier by just kind of just
Yeah.
being simple, being frank. Don't open up the fucking essay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, because like I was kind of, I already knew. 'Cause every time I go to the US, I always have to get sent to the secondary
Joey always
chat
gets
room.
sent to the
Joey
So I'm like,
knows.
I knew. I was just like, you know what? I'm just waiting for him to be like, come to the back with me. So I was,
What
kind
does it
of.
look like? What does the
Yeah.
back room look like? What's the nicest back room you've been to?
yeah.
Honestly, probably the Hawaii. one.
There's like Fiji water. Or
Yeah.
No, not even. But it was so funny because like I got sent to the back room in the Hawaii one, as I always do, and they're like, all right, just sit here and wait.
Joey's already used to this.
Yeah, this is like not my first rodeo at all. And I was just chilling there, just waiting for my name to be called, just hanging out, watching these other people who clearly look like they're shitting their pants. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
first time.
First
All right.
time. All right, guys.
I'm a veteran, don't worry about it. And there's TSA's officers walking back and forth, and one of them stops and just like looks at me dead in the eyes, and I'm like, you gonna call my name? Am I good to go? And he just goes, is Aki with you today? And I'm like, no. And he's like, all right. And he just walks off. And I'm like, please put the good word in for me. You know who I am. And sure enough, like 30 seconds later, same guy walks out and he goes, all right, you good to go. And I was like, my man.
He's like, I vouch. He's cool.
Meanwhile, as I'm in that first part in the line with the 3 of us, I'm just waiting for the guy to like just tell me the inevitable. And I'm hearing in on Garth's conversation,
he's
and he's like,
grilling him.
so there's this thing called yen press, yeah? And I'm like, what conversation did it come to where you have to explain a manga publishing company to a TSA officer? like, what did he ask you? Did you get to that point?
He basically, so I know the exact moment where I was just like, I fucked up, basically. Because he was asking me all the questions and, that was fine. But he just kept going, right? Because I feel like he was looking for some
hole in the story.
Some kind of hole, something he could grab onto.
Yeah.
So he asked me, what do? I said, anime and manga podcast. And he was like, what are you here for? I was like, anime. And he was like, what's the anime convention? And he was like, Hawaii. And then he goes, so where's Kawaii-Con taking place? What's the address?
Dude. Actually, while I was going through my thing, I heard you being grilled of like, how will you get there?
Yeah.
How will you know where you're going?
And to be fair, I was actually like, I wasn't panicking. I was actually like pretty calm. I was just like, sorry about this. Let me go check it now. And I was normally I change my SIM card to like a SIM card that works in American with American data after I land. And so I was like, let me check it quickly. No, I would just like connect to the Wi-Fi. He's like, there's no Wi-Fi. You cannot check your phone. There is no Wi-Fi. And I was just like, is it okay if I change my SIM card? He was like, no. What is the address? I need to know now. And I'm just like,
Holy fuck.
I'm like,
He's
dude.
fucking playing Dunk
In my mind, I was like, dude, chill. Chill. I just need.
You could have just been like, my Someone else in my party knows.
Yeah. So that's literally what I did. And he was like, he looks behind, and he was like, "Is he with you?" And this obviously wasn't a good look.
He's gonna like fucking drag Joey over.
Yeah,
Get over here.
This obviously wasn't a good look. Being me, he's like, he sees me, and he sees my mate Joey also being grilled. What's he gonna be taking?
The guy who's gonna take it to the back room.
Yeah, the guy getting
That's your
taken. The guy taken to the back room. He's like, "That's your boy. That's your boy right there."
Yeah, as I'm walking to the back, it's like, oh, it's Honolulu College. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah, I'm like, Joey, what's the convention center called again? And he's
Honolulu Convention Center.
And it's the Honolulu Convention Center. And I was like, oh, it's a Honolulu Convention Center. And he was just like, how are you gonna get there? How?
Yeah, I heard him grilling you.
Yeah. He kept asking me, how am I going to get there? And I'm like,
how the fuck else am I gonna?
And
get there?
I didn't know what he was asking for, so I was like, I thought he meant where are you staying? So I was like,
oh no, like how, like are you getting a taxi or something?
Yeah. And he was, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a taxi to the modern Honolulu, which is where I'm staying beforehand. And he's like, no, how are you gonna get there? And I was just like, what? I don't
What does that have to do
understand.
with anything?
I don't understand what you're looking for.
Stupid, dude. Like sometimes occasionally a pretty normal question is, you know, do you have any cash on you?
Yeah.
So they can check.
That's what the guy asked me.
Yeah,
They ask you that because they want to know if, like, I guess if you need to do something, you can, you know.
Do you know what got me through?
What?
Because actually, if this wasn't my first time in America, I probably would have been shitting myself.
Yeah,
but I know he's just doing his job.
Well, the thing is, right, 'cause,
trying to
you
intimidate
like,
you.
The lawyer told me this as well. Like, you have all the documentation.
Yeah.
You've done everything correct. Like,
Yeah.
they're just trying to intimidate you. Like,
Yeah,
they if you have all the documentation,
Yeah.
you haven't said anything that's breaches your like terms of that visa or whatever, then they shouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, in my mind, I was just like,
This is not legal. This
yeah.
is not legal advice, by the way. This is not legal advice. This is not legal advice.
Yeah, if this is like I said, if this is my first time, I definitely would have been shitting myself. But I was just like, oh, this is very much an inconvenience right now, and I know it was just because it could have easily been solved if I had data on my phone, and it just was one of the airports that did not have Wi-Fi at the border. So you know, I was just in a little sticky situation, but it was pretty cool.
Always have the address.
How I wanted. Do you know how I won him over?
Why?
Started complaining about LAX.
Oh. Wait, how did that even come up?
What's your least favorite airport?
because he asked me, is this your first time in America? And I'm like, no. Fly to LA all the time. I just did a tour of America as well. It's, you know, I've been to the border enough times. Obviously, he's like checking that as well. And he's like, oh, how does this airport compare to
He asked you that?
He asked me that. He asked me that, and I'm just like, I'm gonna lie to you. This is way better. This is such a good airport, officer.
What the fuck? Why would he care?
And he looks around and he goes, really? And then I just start going off an LAX.
Bro,
Yeah, he's just like,
officer.
and I'm just like, you do not know how good this is compared to LAX. My God,
Bro, thank God he didn't ask me. I'd have been like, bro, this airport is a dog. I'd have been like, he'd have been like, denied.
yeah.
B tier? What?
And as soon as I was like going off my LAX, he just looks at it and goes, all right, you can go through. Hope it's not too hard. I was just doing my job. I was like, yeah, totally
Oh, he said
understand.
that?
Yeah, totally understand, man. I totally understand you're just doing your job.
At least he said that.
Oh, yeah. At least he said that. You know,
He was pretty loud with you there. I don't know if it's doing his job. We got a little something out of that, I think.
He was
pretty loud.
He was definitely being very loud, and in my opinion, very excessive. I think my monk training kind of like came through. Maybe like exuded onto him somehow, because he was grilling me, and I was just like, you know, I'm sorry, man. I can't check it right now. I'll be real
I
with
come
you.
here in peace.
Yeah. Fucking line through LAX, dude. I watched 2 episodes of Made in Abyss while I waited in the immigration line. Because dude, it's so shit.
It is shit.
It's so bad how like understaffed LAX is,
Yeah.
and like I'm like, this is so stupid that I can watch an hour of anime in the fucking line.
And you got to like the officer, and you're just like, I'm sorry, officer, I just watched Made in Abyss.
It's a banger episode, by the way.
I think I was on like episode 10 of season 2 as well, and I was
Oh,
like,
fuck.
fuck, this is heating up. I
yeah.
watched Made in Abyss season 2. That was great.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Anime talk, it was good.
yeah.
Oh,
Anime
that's very
talk.
pop.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, how far are we in? I guess we can do anime talk.
Okay, we can do a little bit of anime.
Just
Actually,
for you guys.
let's not talk about it, the anime.
Okay, sure.
So what was the first thing you did after you got off to Hawaii? And so me and Joey just went off and rested. And what did you do, Connor?
We went to go see a sort of
In Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah.
So John Wick 4 doesn't release in Japan until September,
Right.
which is like, what the fuck? Why is it just how long does it take to make subtitles?
Yeah.
Like that's like 6 months. That's-
Translators are crying right
Yeah.
Some of the scenes are in Japanese. Like what I don't understand
Yeah.
why it's taking so long to get John Wick 4 out. And so like I'm a massive fan of the John Wick series. I've watched like every single one in the cinema when it came out. Fucking loved it. They're great. And like I think they're like the best action I guess what would it be called? It's not a sequel or trilogy, it's a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
It's like the,
Quadrilogy, yeah.
series. It's the
Yeah.
best action movie series I
Four-part
think
series.
we've had in like for such a long time. Like
Yeah.
and even some of the greats of action movies, like I think this holds up, if not is better than a lot of my favorite action movies.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so I was, and John Wick 4 looked insane. They had such an insane cast of just goats. And so I was super pumped for it. And I realized, okay, well, it's the week after John Wick comes out in America. We're in Hawaii, and there's got to be a theater in Hawaii. Sure enough, there was one right next to the hotel. So the moment I found out that we were, like, the time we were arriving at, like, 12, I booked the cinema for 2 p.m. I was like, I'm going straight to John Wick the moment I land. So we got in. So I booked 3 seats to John Wick, right?
You booked 3 seats.
I booked 3 seats because I was like, if somebody last minute wants to join, they can join. If not, I get the extra 2 next to me because it was like packed. 'Cause
Yeah.
Of course, because everyone wants to watch John Wick because it's John fucking Wick. You want to watch it. So I had like, they were like recliner chairs too. Dude, theaters in America are so fucking good.
They are.
The food is insane at this theater. I got a chili dog and I was fearing for the worst. It was going to be like spray chili. It was like actual cheese
Oh,
and
nice.
chili and a great hot dog. And the popcorn was great. It was massive. I was so happy. And so no
All
one
your
came.
favorite things.
Nobody came with me. No one wanted to watch John Wick 4. Can you believe that?
Well, to be fair, I haven't seen a single John
That's
Wick
fine,
film,
yeah, that's
so
fine.
Yeah, I haven't seen the third
I will though.
one yet.
I will.
Yeah.
And so I just immediately went there, and I was so happy, and it was random. So I was kind of happy to have the 2 seats next to me be free. And then one guy tried to sit next to it. He's like, "Oh, is this my seat?" I was like, "It's certainly not your seat." I'm like, boom, boom, boom. It's my seat, buddy.
Being so neurotic. It's just like,
I wasn't saying like you couldn't sit next to me. I was just saying like no. It's actually not your seat.
Actually, I booked all these seats for myself.
Which was great because I had like, I felt like shit, and also I'd ordered way too much food.
Yeah.
So I had to like, I was like putting my shit on the other places, and like, because they gave me this giant ass tray, all this food, and I don't know how I would have managed to eat anything if I had just my lap, because I would have been like, so I just put things away, and it was great. I loved it. I was eating.
I guarantee everyone else in that cinema was like, look at this fat fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I did because we hadn't eaten, so I went to town. Like this was like our lunch, breakfast. I was living my best life. It was 3 hours long too. Holy
Fucking
shit,
hell.
it was so good. It was
Yeah.
so good. And like,
So was it the same length as Avatar?
Yeah, no, Avatar was a little longer, I think. Actually, Can you
Okay.
3.5 hours, right?
it was 3 something. Either way, John Wick was like normally when you start playing, you have to be a little sleepy. But
Yeah.
I was no sleep at all. This movie was so fucking good. This is insane. It was such a good film.
Would
You
say
guys
it's
gotta
the
watch
best one out of the 4?
What's your favorite one?
Yeah, what's your John Wick
it. I
tier
think
list?
John Wick
Yeah.
4 might be my favorite one.
I mean, it's got Donnie Yen. As soon as I
Like
saw Donnie Yen,
is so fucking good in it.
Yeah.
And like obviously we've talked about how much we like martial arts films.
Yeah.
Donnie
Yeah,
Yen
yeah.
is the goat. I never realized because I don't think I'd ever watched a Donnie Yen film where he speaks a ton of English. His English is cracked. And I think
Yeah.
because I think in one of the videos I watched, his mom opened up a martial arts thing in Boston. It was crazy how well all these new characters fit right in. It really felt like the one that, I guess because it just focused on ending. It didn't like some of the lore that they kind of built in some of the other John Wick movies kind of felt a little bit convoluted.
Yeah.
And this one, it was just action. Like I think he says a total of like 300 or 180 words. Like he says barely any words in it.
Right.
yeah.
And the action scenes are so goddamn good.
So wait, is this the last film?
This is the last John Wick film.
Right.
At least in terms
Confirmed?
of, yeah. Yeah.
In before John Wick 5.
It is.
Is this like an end of Ava kind of deal where it's
No,
like,
no, it's the last one. At least
Okay.
for like this, like
Wick
this
4.1.
this like time period or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so fucking good. And I was like, it made my week. It made going to Hawaii worth it. I would have gone to Hawaii. I think I would have gone to Hawaii, and if I'd have flew to Hawaii, watched John Wick, got on the flight back that evening, I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
I'd have felt like it was worth it. It was genuinely amazing. Like, it was such a good film.
All right.
Holy fuck! Watch John Wick 4 if you haven't already.
Yeah, honestly, like, you'd think going to Hawaii for the first time, he kind of would not stop talking about, like, some of the stuff he experienced in Hawaii. But in Hawaii, he just kept talking about his highlight being John Wick 4.
Dude, it was so good. Like, actually, one of the best films I've watched, and so I'm so fucking happy it turned out good. So good. Donnie Yen's the GOAT in it as well. He's so good.
Yeah. Would you like? How do you feel like John Wick stacks up against the classic like action movies? Because I feel like, you know, you had like the classic 80s action movies, and then that kind of
Like the Rambos.
yeah, like the Rambos and like the Schwarzenegger kind of era. And I feel like action movies are kind of like coming back with like the whole Fast and Furious franchise. Like the John Wick franchise now as well.
To be a little bit of a simp for a moment, like, I mean, Keanu obviously works very hard and has his entire career on like martial arts.
Yeah.
So like, even though he's a great actor, he's also a great stuntman and martial arts person, I guess. Practicing, and like, it's like the accumulation of all his career of practicing different elements of stunts and martial arts just coming together. And it's like, I can't think of another like actor who is a more, like traditional actor who is invested so much into this kind of space who could pull this off like this, because like I watch action movies after watching John Wick, and I'm like, holy fuck, the amount of cuts and shaking of the camera is insane. It's like you watch John Wick and you're like, oh, that was a 30-second uninterrupted camera angle of him just doing an amazing choreographed fight. It's like, holy fuck.
It's like the old school like Jackie Chan films.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so impressive. And like the mixing of the style like martial arts with like guns is so cool. And it's just like, I think this is probably like, John Wick 4 kind of sealed it for me, where this is like probably my favorite action series of all time. Right. I think genuinely for me, maybe not like martial arts, but like, for just pure action.
Pure action.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
I genuinely think so. It's so fun. The whole world is fun. The whole assassin world is very fun and engaging. And like, God, it's just so good. Maybe it's recency bias, but fuck, is it fun?
I don't know why that, you know, every time Keanu Reeves stars in a film, I don't know why I love the fact that Keanu Reeves just plays Keanu Reeves.
He's
you know?
so dedicated to everything and just the craft of acting.
He's one of the most wholesome persons on the face of this earth.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's just because you can, again, I think there's that feeling where like when you watch someone who just loves what they do and is dedicated to the craft and
is a nice person on top of it.
and is a great person. Like, I think it's just hard not to just like, I think even if you don't like action or don't care for the John Wick series, I think you can't deny that watching him perform on the screen is just like a delight.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, some of the stunts that he does is like, holy, he's 50. And some of these stunts he's doing is insane. The whole word of the series is just insane. Please watch it if you haven't. I know it's not for everyone, but it is such a delight to watch.
The thing is, though, after I've seen John Wick 1 and 2 at least, it's just ruined any other role that he's played because all I see is John Wick now. You know, I watched like the new Matrix. I'm like, this is just John Wick in the Matrix. You know, I played Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, it's John Wick in Cyberpunk.
It's Neo cosplaying as John Wick.
Because he plays, he can, in the best and worst way, it's just like, I only see like Keanu Reeves or the John Wick era Keanu Reeves, you know, which is great, which I fucking love.
It's
it,
the
you
beard,
know?
man.
I think it is the beard.
His look is iconic.
Yeah, it's an iconic look.
Just to do martial arts in a suit is just so fucking nice to watch. I don't know why. So good. So good.
Just anything in the suit,
So
man.
fucking sick. God, you should please watch John Wick.
Oh my god, he was like this all fucking week.
Yeah, I literally, I talked like this just to know them. They were eating dinner. I was like, guys, John Wick 4. Please watch it.
Kind of would have random conversations with people in like the lift, just talking about John Wick 4. That's how dedicated
so
he
good.
was.
It was
Walking
so
on the
good.
lift. Have you seen John Wick 4?
Yeah. It's like, oh,
that
how's
guy.
your day going? My day's going great. I just saw John Wick 4.
I'm like the
actually.
precursor to like what the Rick and Morty fans became for John Wick. Like, I'm like, have you seen Rick and Morty? You have to watch Rick and Morty. I'll get bored of it in a week. But when it comes out in Japan again, we'll watch it.
I might have caught up with the.
Fuck yeah, we'll go.
I'll have caught up
Because then it'll be 6 months and I'll be like, God, I want to watch it again. I know I do. Such a delight, dude. So fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like a lot of films coming out that interest me, which is rare. You know, we have like the Super Mario Brothers film coming out
I think we're kind of now seeing kind of like the when roughly now is, I think, when films kind of stop being affected by the pandemic as much.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of getting more
Getting a
films.
rollout.
Well, it's
Because the
just
past 2 years have been a drought.
It's,
We haven't had a lot of films.
it's just nice because the past 2 years, and it doesn't even feel like the past 2 years. It feels like the past like 4 or 5 years. It's just been, hey, Marvel movies, which is great. I enjoyed Endgame. You know, I'm still as much of a Marvel fan even as you can be, even though like Phase 4 has
Bro, they botched it. No one likes this phase.
Has sucked ass. And I was hoping Ant-Man would be better. It wasn't. It was.
Did you watch it?
I was going to watch it, and then I saw reviews, and I'm like, okay, this is a plain movie.
Easily swayed by reviews, eh?
I mean, I kind of am, because especially when it comes to like theater, going to the cinema, I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time. You know?
Yeah.
I'm that guy. It's either cinema or I'll watch it at home, or if it's a Marvel movie that's mid, I'll probably watch it on a plane. You know, which is
fair enough.
what I have been doing with like the rest of the movies this entire phase.
Yeah.
So it just seems like there's not been
It's
much.
exciting,
Yeah, there's not been there for a long time. There just wasn't a lot of choice of films that I wanted to see if it wasn't like a Marvel movie. But now there's like so many films that are like shit.
There's that new the film I want to watch. I think it's coming out this year. Is the Oppenheimer movie?
I really want to watch
yeah.
that. Oh
What's,
my god.
What's his name? Oh my god.
Shit. I was literally about to say it. Christopher Nolan. That's it.
Christopher Nolan?
It's Christopher Nolan, and Oppenheimer's played by.
Christopher Nolan's the
fucking-
goat, dude.
Oh my god, what's the guy's name? Kai, look it up.
What are you
Starts with a K.
thinking of?
Starts with a K. He's the guy in Sunshine.
Oh, the actor.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
yeah.
Murphy.
Yeah.
He plays like Oppenheimer, the guy who made the atomic
Yeah,
bomb.
sick.
Yeah,
I'm
looks
hyped for that.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped
I
for
think we're
that.
going to have a good year of cinema, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for Oppenheimer. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Christopher Nolan. I've
He
realized
makes exciting movies.
He does.
He does. He makes. What I love about Christopher Nolan is that even if his movies, you know, sometimes are a bit experimental, at least they like break the mold. I don't feel like I've. Like when I watch
It's refreshing.
when I watch a Christopher Nolan movie, I always come in with a new experience, right? Even if a lot of his movies have had, some of his movies have had issues with it. I look back to all of his movies, and I'm looking back at Tenet now. I'm like, damn, that was actually a really good fucking experience.
One thing you can't say about his movies that are boring.
Yeah,
Right? Like they're always
Right.
interesting, even
Yeah.
if they're hard to
Right.
follow. They're always a fucking delight to watch.
Yeah, every now and again I go back to watch clips of like Tenet like on YouTube because I just like
So
want to
sick.
like relive just how fucking insane some of the visuals in that
Oh,
was.
yeah.
And of course Tenet had problems with its writing. I mean the character was literally called the protagonist. But like years like which is how like you know a lot of the reviews of that movie were pretty like mediocre. You know, it's not his best work, but when you look back on an experience 2, 3, 5 years in the future, you're not going to remember any of that stuff. You're going to remember the shit that actually like did something new.
Yeah.
You know,
It
which is
stands out on like the broader scope of like cinema that came out. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Like I look back at Interstellar as well.
I watched that again recently.
I actually rewatched that as well
Yeah.
because
Wait, why?
I don't know.
It's a fucking good movie.
Something about it was just
I
stuck in
haven't
my
watched
mind.
Interstellar.
You haven't watched
Oh, it's
it?
a
No, is it
great
good?
movie.
It's a really, really good. Well, here's the thing. Again, when it came out, when I first watched it, I came out of it after watching what's the dream movie again?
Inception.
Inception.
Oh.
Yeah, Inception was what like sold me on Christopher Nolan. That's what made me a Nolan fanboy. Watching that in cinemas in Japan actually for the first time, fucking blew my mind. And I'm like, this is incredible. I went into Interstellar wanting something similar to Inception. I was like, this is totally different. What is this? I don't understand. And the reviews at that time were, again, this is still good. Not his best work, but still good. But it's just something about his work just sticks with you and like makes you remember it. And I think I appreciate Interstellar more now than I did when I first watched
I
it.
think I never, because I think before that time I wasn't really going to the cinema much.
Yeah.
But I think for some reason in my head, since I watched Ad Astra, I was like, I don't want to watch any more space movies. I don't know why. I watched this Ad Astra thing and it was a really weird, okay film. I remember I went to the cinema and it was literally just me. It was like a midnight viewing of it, and it was
Yeah.
IMAX. It was a giant theater, and it was just me.
All right.
And I was like, man, this is creepy as fuck. And it was such a really sad movie as well. And it
Yeah.
was, I mean, you remember it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I was done with space, but I kind of want to get back into space stuff.
Have you watched The Martian?
I haven't watched that either. Again, because I was kind of done with
Such
space.
a banger film
That's
as
a
well.
great movie. That's a great
That's-
movie.
And, like a lot of films, I'm like, I want to watch that in the theater, but I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Like The Martian to me is like a modern day Castaway. That's also a movie that's aged incredibly well. Holy shit, Matt Damon fucking killed it in that film, man.
Making those potatoes.
Yeah, you're making those potatoes.
Yeah, I watched like a game theory or a film theory about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've seen The Martian. He plants the potato.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. He uses it.
I think now we got all the cool science YouTubers and everyone, you know, bringing a good name to scientists. But I remember back in the day, it was just like he was like the pioneer of like bringing a cool image to like someone who's just really nerdy and someone super into science. I remember watching The Martian. I was like, damn. Maybe I should get into like a science or something like that. Damn, I want to grow potatoes on Mars. God damn, man. Yeah. Yeah, what a banger film. I think the reason I go to the cinema less than what I used to is I don't know where I saw this quote, or it was probably like a random YouTube short or YouTube video or something like that. But
I get all my life lessons from you.
yeah. I remember what they were talking about, but it was someone in the movie industry talking about how, you know, in the modern day there's not really as many mid-budget movies anymore. You know, it's always either the super high budget blockbusters, which is normally like anything Disney, anything Marvel, and that has its own charm, but I'm not always in that kind of mood, or, you know, or it's like a very like
Super art house.
yes, like super like indie film, art house kind of films. And it kind of made me realize, yeah, I think some of my favorite films aren't those big ass blockbusters, you know, the cinema kind of experience. It's kind of like I grew up with watching a lot of mid-budget kind of mid-budget movies.
There's a lot more, you know, like you could make comedy movies before. You can't make comedy
yeah,
movies.
what's happening with comedy movies, man?
I watched like a 50-minute like breakdown of like why comedy movies is dead.
I think like DVD sales are a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having DVD sales to make up the poor performance they would often get in cinema. And you could also shoot them a lot cheaper, but you know, I guess the audience demand for it is not as high now.
Comedy is dead.
Yeah.
Think about like mid 2000s. How many of the most iconic films from the mid 2000s are just really?
I just think of like how many
weird
fucking Adam
comedy.
Sandler.
Yeah, I'm
movies
just
there
they're,
were,
they're
right?
you know, people love to clown on Adam Sandler, especially like some of the later films he did, but he did some really good fucking films, and I really enjoyed that era of just, oh, it's an Adam Sandler movie. I should probably watch this.
Out
you
of
know?
like, dude, like honestly, like it's weird that it's those like weird kind of, as you were saying, like mid to like slightly high range comedy movies, or like just movies,
or
in
just
general.
movies like that in general.
Yeah, that just stick with me the whole time. Because like in my head, like when I think back to like some of the most fun movie experiences I had, like I don't know if this is like a hot take. Night at the Museum was a fucking banger movie. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, it's good.
That was a fucking awesome, or like Bruce Almighty, like
Yeah,
just
exactly,
like,
right.
Those kinds of like, it's such simple films, but there's something about it that just like after all those years, I can still quote like a bunch of things from those movies.
Right,
Whereas
right.
like today, it's like I've seen a lot of great films recently, but it's like I couldn't tell you as in detail as much as like say like. You know, fucking Waterboy by Adam Sandler. You know,
Well,
like,
I mean, it's just it's a different landscape now. Like you said, like everything has to be a lot of money, a big
And
budget.
a lot of the time, I mean, like fucking superheroes are the isekai of Hollywood. You know, it's you just have like no choice but superhero movies. So when something like John Wick 4 does come out, or the Super Mario Brothers movie, I'm like, finally something different.
Yeah.
Well, they thought initially that John Wick was gonna not perform the greatest because there was like not really much marketing behind it. So it's kind of confusing. You're like, right. Yeah, I guess.
Say no more.
I think people just were shocked at how fucking good it turned out to be. Like the budget was tiny for the first John Wick, and even the newest one was really like kind of small considering how famous John Wick is. I think can you Google the budget? But I think it was like 90 million.
Oh, that's
really?
Not a lot.
Which like the Marvel movies are sometimes like 400, 500 million.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very different amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
It was 100 million, which is like, is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But like when we hear about what some other films cost, I think Avatar needed to get $1 billion to like break even or something. It was like, it's just like, holy fuck. Like it's so impressive what they can do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, there were a lot more films in that like 50 million kind of like
50
range.
should be a lot too.
50 is a lot, but
Used to be. I mean, inflation is also a thing. So.
yeah, but like I mean, like that kind of like budget compared to the every superhero, every Marvel movie, which is like hundreds of millions of dollars. They're both a lot of money, but one is way more money than the other kind of movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that like mid-range, you can still explore interesting ideas without having to be limited by, you know, being an indie film. Because indie films are fucking fantastic, by the way. But at the end of the day, you use the resources you have. Like sometimes they find clever ways to use like a lower budget, but it has its charm. But there's just a whole category of like films that I feel have just been wiped off the earth in like the past decade.
It's because a lot of the fucking budget films that we hear about lately are like Cocaine Bear and the Winnie the Pooh horror film.
Yeah.
It's like these just shit films. It's just fucking stupid.
They're just meme films, right? Yeah.
They're just films that they're like, it's like you can make the film on less than $1 million.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get more money just of people being curious because it's such a stupid concept.
Yeah.
Like I think the Winnie the Pooh film was like not even like 100. How much was the Winnie the Pooh horror film? Budget? I think
I
it
was really tempted to go with
I think it was like literally like less than $1 million. Like I think it was like even less than that. I think it was something stupidly low.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, just do the budget under 100.
Under 100.
Under 100,000.
And everyone knew that that movie was coming out, right? And so I don't think the aim of that movie was to make a good movie. I think it was to make a movie that would just exist and could be called a movie.
And it
so that you
definitely
could
made its
easily
money
make,
back.
Yeah, it made it like 10x budget.
Yeah.
It easily got $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also a 10-day shoot as well.
A 10-day shoot?
Fuck.
That's just a YouTube video.
Yeah, they made 4.2 million.
Yeah, so they made so like I think a lot of studios now or like budget studios saying like, oh wait, if we just do something outrageous or make something fucking stupid that people are going to talk about online, even if the movie sucks, we get money.
Isn't it crazy that the Winnie the Pooh movie took just as long to film as our Japan road trip special did?
Oh my! Why are you gonna say it like that,
If you think about it like that,
Oh my god!
If you think about it like that, that's nutty.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
We lost money.
Meanwhile, Disney's like, what other classic movie should we remake today?
the
Oh,
Moana
it's
remake.
Moana! It's Moana, guys.
Fucking shit idea. I mean, everyone.
It's fucking hell.
I hear that. I mean, everyone said this, but like, the remakes fucking suck.
Well,
Yeah.
there's that Little Mermaid remake coming out, right? Did you hear about that?
I don't care.
Saw the trailer and I'm like,
Moana does not need a live action, and the fact that they have Dwayne Johnson doing it, which makes sense. Obviously, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
of
doing it, but what is the fucking point now?
Yeah.
When it's just like an RTX version of Moana. Like, what is the point of this movie?
You just did a mocap version,
yeah,
you know?
they just fucking use the mocap footage of him. Just release that. Like, what is this shit? He's gonna be like, I'm really excited to revisit the role and do the exact same thing I did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
The
just
thing,
like,
the thing about remakes is that I feel like with remakes, you should there's like a grace
everyone
period.
thought about it. Everyone knows this. There's just an unwritten rule that you should leave it the fuck alone for a while.
Yeah. Like you can't call it a remake if it's like what fucking 5 years ago or some shit
If I
like
could
that.
still watch it on in-flight entertainment, it's too goddamn early. Okay, it's too early.
but boys, we all know the biggest news in the movie world is that Shrek 5 was just announced.
Was it
Fuck
actually?
Yep, Shrek 5 was just
No
announced.
fucking way.
They're
Dude.
making a Shrek 5.
I watched Puss in Boots.
Was it
Oh,
good?
you did?
It's insane.
Really?
It's so fucking good.
I-
It's actually, I've never seen a movie that went so hard.
I
Really?
really want to watch it. That's actually like that. No joke.
It's in
That's
cinemas right now.
I heard insane things about it, yeah.
Dude, it's like, it's like, it feels like the One Punch Man of the Shrek universe. In terms of like, it just came out of nowhere and was like, what the fuck? Why is the animation just insane?
yeah.
I can't fathom how hard they went on this film. Not only is like the animation itself just an absolute delight, the story is so fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, when I first saw Puss in Boots 2 start like trending on my timeline, I'm like, people are memeing, right? This is a meme.
I didn't even watch Puss in Boots 1. You don't need to, because this film was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, I'm excited for Into the Spider-Verse too as well. That's
Dude, we got
we got
fucking
so
spoiled.
much
We've
good
been
films,
spoiled.
cinema
man.
coming out.
Great cinema.
spoiled.
Thank God.
Hell yeah.
Even though that is a superhero film, I don't care. I don't
It's
care.
fine,
I'll
it's fine.
I'll make an
Puss in
I
Boots
exception.
enjoyed Into the
He's
Spider-Verse
my
too
hero right now, dude. Bro, that film was so good, dude. Please, if you're skeptical, you're like, I don't want to watch Puss in Boots. I haven't watched Puss in Boots. It doesn't fucking matter. Don't fucking listen to anything you say. You're dumb.
Yeah.
Go and watch Puss in Boots 2. I don't care how you watch it. Watch it right now. It's so fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, moral of the story is I am more excited about cinema this year than I have been for a very long time. And
Hell
I might
yeah.
actually end up going to the cinema more often now.
Yeah.
Dude, please do. Let's
Yeah.
go watch Puss in Boots. I think it's still in cinemas. I gotta look.
But hey, look at all these patrons though. I bet they're excited for
Ooh.
Shrek 5.
Yes.
Why would they be? Okay, never mind.
Who
Thank
is
you for watching, patrons. Do the thing, Jerry.
Oh,
Yes.
do the thing. All right, hey, if you enjoyed the show and you like to support it, then make sure to go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also
Make sure to
follow
go
us on
there.
Twitter. Send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.